Hey everyone, just wanted to say something before this video gets started. I wanted to apologize for the poor audio quality. I actually spent money on a lavalier mic and set it up to record to my phone and tested it, and it worked great, but then as soon as I started recording for the actual video, it didn't want to work anymore. So I apologize, I'm just using the audio from the camera itself, so I just wanted to say that before the video gets started. But anyways, here it is. Hey guys, Alex here, Heckman Productions, and welcome to another video. It's been quite some time since you've seen my face or my bike. Obviously with the winter we haven't been riding or anything, so I took that time to do some bike work and some upgrades. So I wanted to share with you guys what I've done to the bike and what I still have to do, as obviously it's not all back together. So let's take a look. For those of you also might notice, this is a different room. My wife and I, Natalie and I, we actually bought a house over the winter. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have done any of this work. I might have done a few things, but I wouldn't have done nearly as much work to the bike because I wanted to have my own garage to do stuff in. And this is it's a small garage, but it's enough room to tear my bike down all the way and do whatever I want to it. So that's what I did. As soon as I got the bike over here, we tore it all the way down to the frame. I have a couple tables, my trailer is completely covered in parts, and as you can see, it is pretty cold out here, if you can see the smoke in front of my face, so that's why I'm wearing this crappy sweatshirt. So we tore it all the way down to the frame, and then went and got the frame powder coated. Tyler Pash with TSP Powder Coating did an amazing job. He's over in Muskegon. If anybody around in Michigan is watching and needs something powder coated, he does an amazing job, but it's also very reasonably priced. He knocked this frame out of the park. He did my frame, subframe, and swing arm. So they'd call that a complete frame. Also, since we did that, I also replaced the bearings in my swing arm, because you obviously have to beat them out to powder coat the swing arm. So we put new bearings in the swing arm, and then I also did bearings in my linkage, because a couple of the linkage bolts were absolutely garbage, or the bearings were absolutely garbage. So we went ahead and redid those. So I have some fresh bearings ready to go for the season. Hopefully they last a while. We put in some, I think it was Pivot Works, either that or All Balls. I can't remember which brand I got, but anyways, fresh new bearings in the bike. And then obviously, as I started putting the bike back together, I made sure everything was as clean as possible. The only stuff I didn't scrub was the wiring harness and the throttle body and that type of stuff, because obviously I don't want any of that stuff to be messed up. But I still took time to wipe most of it down, especially the stuff that you're gonna see. Make sure that it's all nice and clean, so that way when we do go out to the track, we can do a sweet photo shoot and I can almost feel like I have a factory bike. So a couple other upgrades that you'll notice that don't really do much for performance, it's more for looks. I went ahead and bought an FMF header pipe. I already had the silencer, which we put a new sticker on the silencer, the new updated sticker. The sticker that was on it before was the old style. We put a new sticker on the silencer, but then we also got a header pipe, so maybe that'll help a little bit with power. But as you can see, also we blued it to give it that awesome look, and it'll probably blue more as I ride it more. So we didn't go overboard with the bluing. Now the reason I'm saying we over and over again is I gotta give a big thanks to my friend Keith Derringer. He helped so much with this, whether it be giving me parts or loaning me stuff. I still have some of his tools laying around in my garage, so without him this would not have been possible. If you look at my gas tank, it's actually a carbon fiber gas tank that was most likely off from a Geico Honda bike. Would have been a few years ago anyways. But Keith actually went out and bought that. He found it at MX Locker, bought it, and said, "You can use this, just give it back to me when you sell the bike." So big thanks to him. The silencer also was originally from him as well. And I'm also actually using 2017 KX250F forks on this bike. The reason I'm using those and not the stock is because these are spring forks, and I have a little bit higher, I'm a little more comfortable on the spring forks than I am the air forks. And I'm planning on doing a comparison video of the two to kind of narrow down where I feel more comfortable on each. I don't have as much time on these spring forks as I did put them on at the end of the season last year. But then other than that, I just did a few other things, like I put new chain and sprockets on. My old chain and sprockets weren't necessarily bad. I just wanted to switch up my gearing. I'm actually going back to what my gearing was when I first bought the bike, just because that's what I like the most for Moorlands, and obviously I ride at Moorlands the most out of every track, so I figured I want to get my gearing perfect to where I like it at Morelands, and then I can also be usable at other tracks as well. But yeah, other than that, the only thing that I didn't get to do to the bike over the winter that I really wanted to was I bought fresh tires, but I also wanted to get new rims from W. And ran a little short on money, just bought a house. So I haven't gotten the rims yet. That is something I would like to get this year, and so for now I'm just keeping my old tires on the bike for now, so that way I can put the fresh tires on when I do end up getting new rims. Now, as far as the motor goes, I didn't really do anything to the motor. The only thing that we did was we put in a Hinson clutch, inner hub, outer basket, and plates and springs. It didn't do the clutch cover just because that's $100 and some that I don't feel like I need to spend. Instead, we just shined up the cover really nice with a buffing wheel, and I think it looks pretty good. Obviously, my boot's going to scuff a little bit, but it's definitely good, better than what it was. So I'm happy with how that turned out. And then yeah, just a couple other little minor things like the frame guards, just to number one, protect the powder coat so I don't rub that away, and number two, it'll give me a little extra grip as well. So what I want to do today is finish putting in all the fluids. I filled up the bike with gas, with coolant, so I need to fill up both oils, and then I'm also going to oil up an air filter, and hopefully we'll throw some plastics on and start the bike up for the first time. I still have to put graphics on. The reason I haven't yet is because the bike's sitting out in the cold and it's been so cold outside, I don't want to install the graphics and then have them wrinkle up because of the weather. So I'm kind of waiting for it to be warmer outside, and then I can install it and let the bike sit out here. I don't have to drag it in the house. So that's my reasoning behind that anyways. I might install some of them in the house anyways because I can't wait because the graphics look amazing. But anyways, so enough gabbing by me. We're gonna go ahead and start putting the rest of the oils in and also oiling up an air filter, and then we'll go ahead and see if she wants to start. So there is a reason why I did not record every single thing that I did on the bike. I actually started recording me tearing the bike down, was gonna make a whole video about that, but I ended up losing the footage to that somehow and never really tried to recover it, because I realized as I was making that video that the way I work on a bike isn't really the traditional way, you know, like I kind of jump from thing to thing, and I really enjoy working on bikes, but I'm kind of all over the place, and if you could see the tables that I have all my stuff on, you would understand. But the thing is I'm able to keep track of where everything is, and I have it all sorted in my head. It's just I don't feel like being criticized by a bunch of people online for the way that I do things. So basically I just decided to do this video showcasing everything that we did as a final product, and then also show the graphics installation, because that's something I've done many times, and I definitely feel like I have a good routine and flow for that. So just figured I'd share some of my thoughts on that as we're doing a little bit of bike maintenance here. I also just came to the realization that I don't have any clean filters, so I actually need to clean some. So I'm just gonna throw in the last one that I had in here, which isn't even completely dirty. Like, I definitely would put in a new one after this if my filter looks like this. So, but just for starting it up, making sure everything's together, good enough for me. So I'm obviously gonna clean filters and whatnot before we go riding. I'm not gonna start a brand new season with a dirty air filter. This is foolish in my opinion. So now everything's in, it's all ready to be started. I'm gonna go ahead and throw on some plastics and get her fired up. So it starts, it runs, it took a little while, but that's probably because it's cold and I don't have a brand new air filter in it anyways. Also wanted to apologize for the crappy audio. I have this lavalier mic and for some reason it just completely stopped connecting to my phone even though I tested it beforehand. So I was trying to have nice clean audio for you guys, but after looking back at the footage it doesn't appear to be that way. So yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for checking out the video. Can't wait to start riding. Hopefully it'll be soon. Michigan's being really stingy with how cold it's been lately. So anyways, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you out on the track.